Hi, welcome to today's practice. I'm Sara Raymond with the Mindful Movement. I imagine you clicked on this video because perhaps you're feeling like you have some stuck energy and you want to release it. You want to feel like you have some movement and you're finding clarity, and today's practice is going to help you do that. So we'll open up the hips and the front of the body to help move energy, and hopefully you'll feel like you have some freedom from that stuck energy that maybe has been pushed down and you're ready to release it. So today we'll start seated in any comfortable position, and you can just let your arms rest by your side or in your lap, and then close your eyes. And by closing your eyes, you send a signal to your body that it's time to turn inward and connect with yourself. And just begin to notice how you are arriving on your mat today, without judgment, without trying to change anything at this point. In order to make a change, eventually, you need to have a baseline or have a connection of where you are in this moment. And that's how we'll start today. So beginning to deepen your breath in through your nose, and then out through your mouth like a sigh. Again like that, breathing in. And then just letting it go. Let's do that one more time. And as you breathe out, just let your body soften. That's it. And allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And let your awareness come to the palms of your hands. Just with your mind's eye, move your focus to your palms. And as you begin to pay attention to your palms, you might feel a warming, tingling, buzzing, just a notice of energy there, whatever that is for you. And you can see that simply moving your attention to an area of your body brings energy there. And so we'll use that idea today as we begin to move our body and move some stuck energy around. So taking the palms of your hands together at your heart. Now feel the energy connecting from one side to the other. And if there's an area of your body that's feeling like it needs a little bit more attention, just take a moment to send your energy there. That's it. And then beginning to just blink your eyes open, releasing your arms. And we'll start our movement sequence in child's pose. So you'll come onto your hands and knees. Knees can be together or apart, whatever feels comfortable. And then begin to bring your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward and then begin to let your chest come down. And I'm going kind of exaggeratedly slow to really allow myself to settle in here. So you take it at a pace that feels comfortable for you. And then eventually, as you settle in, you might have the desire to shift side to side and just feel into your hips. And even in this very first pose, let's breathe into the area of the hips. So everyone's body is different. You may feel a little bit of tightness in the front of the hip at the crease, or maybe you're feeling it on the side or back of the hip. Wherever you feel like you need the energy or the attention, send your breath there. Okay, and then taking your time, coming up onto all fours, maybe narrowing your knees back under your hips, wrists under shoulders, and then moving with your breath into a cat-cow. So as you inhale, your tailbone drops down, tailbone goes up, crown of the head goes up, and the ribs come down. So we're arching. And then as you exhale, going in reverse, tailbone tucks down toward the backs of your knees, crown of the head points down towards your hands. And then beginning to flow with your breath, inhaling, arching, and exhaling to round. Next time you come through center or your neutral spine, you'll pause there. And then take your right foot out to your right so that your heel lines up with your left knee. And then if your ankle is comfortable with it, you can plant the foot flat on the mat, or probably to the floor on the side of your mat. So you'll go back to that cat-cow, so lifting the tailbone, lifting the head, and then rounding. A little different feeling at the right hip joint when you have your right leg out like this. And then again, as you pass through the middle, you'll pause there. And then we'll move into a twist or a thread the needle. So we'll keep our right hand down just under the shoulder. Lift your left arm, twist to the left, and then twist to the right. So we're gonna lay the left shoulder, perhaps the side of your forehead down, and then maybe use this right hand to press into a little deeper twist, or you can slide your right arm forward, whatever feels good for you here. Taking a nice deep breath, a little wound up here. And then sliding your right hand back under your shoulder if it's not there, and we'll twist one more time to the left. And then bring your left hand back down. Walk your hands in toward your knee to help you up to a tall kneeling. So you can think of pressing your hips forward, maybe lengthening your tailbone down towards the floor, and then lift your left arm. Slide your right arm down your right thigh as you side bend to the right. Coming back up to center, and then carefully taking your hands back down to the floor. And then once you reposition your hands under your shoulders, draw your abdominals in a little bit to strengthen that core area. And then we're going to pick the right leg up. Ooh, it feels so heavy out there. And then take it back. And then as you lower your right toes down, pivot or swivel the left foot to the left. And now you'll be weight bearing on your left hand as you press your hips forward, picking your right hand up towards the ceiling. And then reach your right arm over your head to side bend. Keep pressing that left hip forward. Take a breath in here. And then we'll carefully untwist. So right hand comes back down, swivel that left foot back again, and then pick your right leg up so it's right in line with your right hip. And you might take a second to aim your right hip towards the floor. And then reaching your left arm forward here. If that's uncomfortable in your shoulder, you can reach it back. So squaring your hips towards the floor. And then with your next exhale, open your right leg to the right, left arm to the left, and center, inhale. Let's do that 2 more times. One more time, building a little heat, a little strength. And then you can lower your left hand, pull your right knee in toward your chest, rounding your back, and then step your right foot forward between your hands. You may have to wiggle your feet around a little here. And you can use a block here under your hands if you need to bring the floor a little higher, if your hips are a little bit tight here. All right, so finding this low lunge, bring your hips forward, lift your chest. So you're lengthening your spine here. And then you can take your hands to your right thigh, lifting up a little taller. Maybe lift your arms here. And then lower your right arm, reach a little longer through your left and side bend to your right. Good, breathing into the front of the left hip here. And then take your left hand down just inside of your right foot. A block might be nice here if you need it. Keep bringing your hips forward towards your right heel. You can use your right hand to begin to assist a twist to your right. And you may feel like you want to do this or not, you can choose. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot, letting the knee open, and then you might be able to bring your hips forward a little more. Reaching your right arm up, maybe back, turning a little deeper if you can. And then untwisting. And then we'll bring the hips back, just take a quick stretch here as you straighten your right knee. All right, and then bring that right knee back. Send the hips back onto your heels, lower yourself down in child's pose. All right, coming back to all fours, we're going to do the whole sequence on the other side. So you'll reset hands and knees, and then take your left leg out, so your left heel lines up with your right knee. And then moving through cat-cow here. Inhale, lift the tail, lift the head, arching through the back. And then exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding the spine. Inhale, and exhale. Okay, then find neutral, and then we'll begin to twist. So the right hand comes up, twist to the right, and then thread the right hand through left hand and foot, perhaps lowering your forehead down, side of the forehead as you twist. And again, option to slide the left arm forward. Slide your left hand back if it's out, untwist yourself. One more twist to the right, lifting your right arm, and then bringing that hand back down. Walk your hands in toward your feet. Carefully help yourself up here. So again, pressing the hips forward. So we're opening or straightening out the front of that right hip. Lift your right arm and side bend to your left. Good. Okay, coming back to center. Carefully bring your hands back down. And then again, engaging your abdominals to give you a little bit of support here. Pick your left leg up, hold it for a second. And then bring your left leg back. You can lower your left toes down. And again, you'll swivel or pivot that right foot out to the right. Press your hips forward, lifting your left arm. And then take your left arm overhead, find that side bend. Breathe in here, continue to press your hips forward. And then as we untwist, left hand comes back down, reset the right leg, and then lift your left leg up in line with your left hip. Again, find that left hip pointing towards the floor, reach your right arm forward. Okay, from here, let's build a little bit more strength and stability. So you're gonna open the right arm to the right, left leg to the left, and center. Connecting that with your breath. Exhale, open, and inhale, close. One more time. Lower your right hand. Hug your left knee in towards your nose as you round your back, and then step it forward between your hands. So again, optional block use here. Sending the hips forward. So remember, left knee is over the ankle. And then we'll take our hands to the left thigh. Lifting your arms. Find that nice opening on the front of the body. Chest, ribs, all the way down through the right hip. And then lower your left arm, lift up through the right and side bend to your left. Okay, take your right hand down inside of your left foot. Left hand can again be on your left thigh. And then use your hand to begin the twist here, twisting your shoulders to your left, continuing to bring your hips forward, opening through that front of the right hip. And then option here to roll to the outside edge of your left foot, opening the knee, maybe turning a little farther, maybe taking your left hand up or back. Deep breath in here. And then untwist yourself. Hips come back over the back knee as you straighten your left leg. Maybe folding forward, take a breath. And then again, resetting in child's pose. So if you're able, take the knees hip distance as you sit back. And then as you lower your chest down, stretch your arms out as far as you can. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you have a solid base of support on your under your hands. Take a breath in to prepare. And then as you exhale, round your hips off your heels. And just keep your hands right where they are. Bring your hips forward towards your wrists, and then we'll come into a back bend here. So modified up dog, letting your hips come down with your arms straight, bringing your chest through your arms. Take a breath in, and then with your exhale, just like with cat pose, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, round back. Inhale as you sit onto your heels. And let's flow through that with the breath. Exhale, round through cat. Inhale, hips come forward. Modified up dog with the knees down. And then exhale, rounding. Inhale back. Let's do two more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, next one we're going to stay in the back bend. So hips come forward. And then, as always, be kind to your body. So if you're not happy here, come back to child's pose and just rest. If you're comfortable here, I'm going to just kind of stay and explore. So maybe you wiggle your hips around, shoulders around. Just open the front of the body. Breathe into your belly, your hips, your chest. And then rounding again. All right, this time you can bring your big toes together, knees wide as you sit back. So maybe giving yourself a little bit more space to let your ribs come down. All right, and then you'll come all the way forward onto your belly. All right, so you can bring your left arm forward, so it's giving you a little bit of support. Bend your right knee, and then if you're able, reach around and grab your right ankle, foot, maybe pant leg. If you can't quite reach, you're just pulling your heel in energetically. So if you do have hold of some part of your lower leg, gently pull your heel towards your butt. And at the same time, think of tucking your tailbone under or pressing your pubic bone into the mat to give you a little extra stretch on the front of the hip. And then we'll release and switch sides. So left knee bends, grab left foot, ankle, pant leg, whatever you can reach. And again, gently pull your heel in, but at the same time, tuck your tail. Gently press the pubic bone down. Okay, and then release your foot, taking your hands just next to your shoulders, your chest, forehead hovering above the ground. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then with your next inhale, lift to just a low cobra here. So we're not lifting so high that you feel like you have to use your hands. and then back down. We'll do a few like that, just kind of flowing with the breath. Shoulders down, inhale. Maybe you lift a little higher. You decide how high feels good for you. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And exhale. And then gently press yourself up and back. Find that child's pose that feels really good for you. One more kneeling sequence here. So we'll come back onto all fours. Step your right foot forward. And again, a block could be handy here if you would like it. Bring your hips forward toward your front heel, reaching your chest forward so you're opening the front of the body. And then we'll shift the hips back, straighten the right knee any amount. You can lift your toes. And here also, we're looking more towards the cow pose. So the tailbone lifts, the chest lifts. And then bend your knee and come forward again. All right, moving with the breath. Inhale back. Exhale forward. 2 more times in each direction. Hold that low lunge position. So right knee is over your ankle. And then starting to bend your left knee. You can use your left hand on the floor or the block. And then you'll take that same twist we were working on before, but maybe this time you can grab your left foot with your right hand. Again, you can open your knee and let your hips come down. Go ahead and release there, untwist, and then switch sides. So left foot forward, find knee over ankle, chest lifted, and then as you send the hips back, straighten your left knee any amount, flex your left ankle, find a slight cow tilt or lifting of the tailbone, and then forward again. Inhale back into your half split variation, whatever amount works for you. And then exhale forward. Okay, one last time. And then you'll come forward into the low lunge. Right hand just inside of your left foot, beginning to twist as you bend your right knee. See if maybe you can grab hold of the foot. Maybe a little different on one side than the other. Perhaps you roll to the pinky toe side of your foot as you open your knee. Holding for a breath. Untwist yourself carefully. And then we'll come into child's pose one more time. Okay, let's make our way to seated. And you can sit in any comfortable position. Let's just take a couple seconds here to check in. So just as we did in the very beginning, close your eyes. Again, sending that signal to your body to turn your attention inward. And as I mentioned earlier, we're working on moving energy around, releasing stuck energy at the area of the hips. So things might be bubbling up a little bit, and just give yourself permission to acknowledge that and let it be just as it is. Okay, and then blinking your eyes open. All right, so you can straighten your right leg. I'll mirror you. And then you'll cross your left foot over your right knee. And we're going to use our hands to pull the knee into the chest, lifting your chest really tall here, and then begin to turn to your left. Left hand can go behind you. Keep lifting tall as you twist. Now, if you feel like you want a little bit more hip-oriented opening here, you are welcome to bend your bottom knee. So you're pulling your heel, let's see, this is your right heel towards your left glute, and then maybe walking your right leg out. So knee over knee, heels are pulling towards your hips, any amount, wherever they allow. So you can stay facing forward, lean forward, or you can continue to twist to your left. So I think of this as sort of an exploration. My body is different from your body, your needs are different from my needs, so you just explore. And you have this opportunity to give yourself the gift of what you need. And the only way you'll know what you need is to, again, turn your attention inward and look for the signals. Does it feel better to twist? Or does it feel better to forward fold? Is your body feeling like your bottom leg needs to remain straight? Any of those options are wonderful, as long as it's the right one for you. Let's uncross our legs, stretch them both out, and then little windshield wipers loosening things up again. Okay, side two. So your left leg will begin straight, right knee bends, so the foot is just next to the outside of your left knee. Lots of mirroring here. Lift your chest, turn your shoulders to your right, and then maybe the right hand goes behind you, using the right hand to help you lift and lengthen. Okay, so you know the options here. I'll repeat them all for you. You can stay here and just breathe and send some breath and energy into the areas that need it. You can choose to bend your left knee, bottom leg, so heel comes towards your glute, and then maybe sliding knee over knee, or at least in the direction of knee over knee. And then either leaning forward or continuing to twist to your right. Now, if you're like me and your sides are different, you might choose a different option. So maybe it felt good to twist when you were on the other side, and now you want to lean forward. Again, give yourself the gift of listening to the messages of your body, listening to your needs. Got another moment to explore on this side. Releasing slowly, stretching your legs out, maybe lean back a little bit to give your hips some opening. Okay, we're going to make our way onto our back, so take your time, no rush. And then as you come onto your back, hug your knees in toward your chest. Yourself a gentle, loving hug. And we're in the home stretch here. Let's open the knees to the sides, so as wide as you can. Take your elbows inside of your knees, and then you're reaching towards your lower legs. So perhaps it's ankles, sides of the feet, big toes, whatever you can reach comfortably. And then once you have hold of your lower leg or foot, you'll lift your heels up so they're directly over your knees. And here, we're letting our legs be a little passive and using the elbows or the arms to open the hips. You may encourage your tailbone to reach downward. And you might explore rocking a little bit and see what changes as you rotate your pelvis from one side to the other. Settle back into the middle. Keep hold of your right leg just as it is. And then you're going to release your left leg. Reach your left arm back and stretch your left leg out as long as you can. So finding as much length through the left side of your body as possible, and at the same time continuing to hold that right leg active. So opening the right leg out to the right. Okay, take your time here as you bring your left knee back in. Reconnect with left hand and foot or ankle. And then as you reset the left side, you'll release the right. So take your time here. That right hip was in a deep flexion for quite some time, so it might take a little while to open up. And then again, find length through the right side. Okay, we're going to release the left side. Slowly. Find a nice full body stretch. Stretching the left leg out. And as your arms reach overhead, legs reach out long, maybe let your back arch a little bit, maybe point or flex at the ankles. And then allow your arms to come back to your side. Bend your knees. Open your feet approximately the width of the mat. Feel free to play around, more narrow or more wide. And then drop your left knee across towards your right heel. Now think of the hip bone and the knee, those 2 points, getting longer or farther away from each other. So as you reach your left knee forward, draw your left hip back towards the floor. See how that feels for you. Switch sides, so gently lift your left knee back up. Right knee drops across towards the left heel. So now we're finding more length between the right hip bone and the right knee. Knee reaches forward, hip draws back. And then again, take your time coming back. And then we'll move into our final posture, Shavasana. So you can stretch your legs out long. If this bothers your back, feel free to keep your knees bent and just allow your knees to come to touch and rest on one another. Maybe the arms come out to the side, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close if they're not already. Begin to soften the muscles around your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. And as these small muscles of your face release, allow that release of energy to travel down your body, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, ribs, belly. As you notice each part of your body, allow the energy to flow the hips rest heavy and open. Relax your thighs, knees, calves. Allow your ankles to be completely at ease. Tops of the feet, bottoms of the feet, toes all relax. As you remain in stillness for another moment or two, let your awareness linger on anywhere that it feels like you need attention, need release. Moving energy where you need it. Become aware of the soles of your feet. Perhaps letting the energy build here as you move your toes or your ankles. And then letting that energy move from the bottom of your feet up through your ankles, calves, knees, re-energizing, refilling thighs, hips, abdomen, chest, arms, hands, all the way up through your throat and head, bending your knees if they're not already. Gently roll to one side. And take your time as you come up to seated. One final check-in, closing your eyes. Bring your hands together at your heart. Your homework for the rest of the day is to find opportunities to pause and check in. Listen to the messages of your body and offer yourself what you need. Take one more deep breath in together and sigh it out, blinking your eyes open. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you have an easy day filled with lots of flowing energy. Take care.